What's up, guys? Today we are doing the body of the beast. As you can see, we are going to mold this whole thing in Ultracal 30. This is going to be a very big job. Now, you guys saw me build the head mold not too long ago, and that was, that was a pretty decent sized mold in of itself. This is easily over twice as long, and this is definitely going to be a project here. I don't really think I actually want to mold this thing with the legs on. I'm going to make a separate pair of legs that I'll be able to attach and detach off of it, and plus it'll save a lot more product and it'll make it easier to pull the cast out. So let's get on with it before this clay dries up on me and the whole sculpt's lost. All right, legs are gone, don't need those anymore. Pretty much just touch up all this stuff, seam it up, line it all up the way it needs to be, and then I'm gonna go over everywhere and fix any imperfections that I do not like. So let's get down to it, shall we? I cut the legs off and touched up everywhere that needed to be touched up at. The texture is added on all sides where it needs to be, and I'm pretty happy with it. So now what I have to do is put this right there on that plastic, because that is flat surface and that's where the mold's going to be made. Solid plaster should be plenty enough to knock out the jobs. All right. There is one thing I do have to do before we start getting into it, and that is add some clay here so the Ultracal don't go underneath it. And yeah, but same process as before. Water in your Ultracal 30, just sift it in, let it sit, and then mix it, and then brush it on. It's always a good idea to make sure your plaster is diluted with the first coat. Just make sure it's very liquefied so it seeps into every single crevice. As you can see on this, there's a lot of undercuts that need to be addressed. And yeah, so same process as the head pretty much, just a little bit bigger. Need some more. Alright. Let's see where this is going. Well, that was by far the biggest quantity of plaster I've ever dumped at one time. Sometimes the best way to smooth this stuff out is when it's semi-hard. Take some burlap and just start doing a rotation. It's pretty much done. I could add another layer if I want to and polish it up to the point where it's perfectly smooth, but I don't know. I don't think it really needs it. It's pretty durable. Top to the touch right now. It's actually steaming a little bit, and yeah, it's gonna be heavy as hell to pick up. Now I just gotta flip it over, trim it up, sand it, and clean all the clay out of it and start casting bodies, and can't wait to show you guys that. So as you saw, I pretty much took a cutting wheel and cut all the rough edges off of this thing. Pretty much only the spots where it's too thin, just so I can handle it around and sand it and make a little bit more nice and neat. It's not perfectly ergonomic, but it's good enough. It looks better than it did before. Now all I have to do really is sand this whole face. Now, what I mean by that is the edge of the body really ends here, right around in this line here. So some of the Ultracal kind of went over that. I'm just going to take a sander and sand it until the edge of the clay shows around the whole thing. That way I can pry out all the foam. Kind of like how this is here. You can kind of see the difference in color. You can see the Ultracal and the clay here. And that is pretty much all going to have to come out. So essentially you would peel that all out and clean it with some water, pressure, clean it with a hose and all that stuff, scrub it out, whatever you have to do, and then paint your latex in and start casting bodies, same way as we did the head. So stay tuned for that.